when you look at the no's and look at the yeses, there are way more yeses than no's. I mean,
Yes.
you're going to have pancakes, you're going to have steak, you're going to have, chicken and fish. So you're going to have all these things. We're just going to eat them in a healthier way without compromising the taste.
Today I'm here with Dr. Ian Smith, New York Times bestselling author of Fast Burn, The Power of Negative Energy Balance. Welcome, Dr. Ian Smith.
Elaine, thanks for having me.
It's such a delight to see you again. You know, we have such a great rapport. I am so delighted to have read your book, Fast Burn, because it's spelling out a new diet plan that all of us need right now coming out of the COVID hibernation and starting our travels again. So can you tell me more a bit about your book?
Sure. So Fast Burn is a 9-week program. Every week on the program is completely different to avoid people from suffering from what I call food or plan boredom. But it's made of regular food, accessible food, affordable food. You don't have to go to 4 different grocery stores to be able to get the food. You go to one place. And I really wrote this book from the standpoint of the user. And let me explain what I mean by that. So many programs, people say all these different reasons why they don't want to do it or why they can't do it. So I took those into account. So yes, on Fast Burn, you're going to have alcohol. There's pizza. There's my grandmother's scratch pancakes. There's steak. There are vegetables. There's pasta. So all the things, or not all the things, but many things that diet programs say you can't have, I say you can have on Fast Burn, because I've always believed that the more you deprive people of things, the more they want them, and the less compliant they're going to be on your program. So I really try to make Fast Burn as easy to follow, as straightforward, and as enjoyable as possible. And I think that's why people are enjoying it so much.
Oh, they really are. You know, I had the privilege of joining your Fast Burn Challenge Facebook group a few days ago, and on there I was so surprised and delighted to see pictures of your recipes and real people that you've tested your program on. Tell me about that.
Yeah, it's always about real people for me, always. And so I'm lucky to have a really large Facebook following. And so before I actually published the plan, I took about 2,000 people and they tested it for me. The average weight loss was 15 to 17 pounds in 9 weeks, which is big numbers. However, beyond that, they lowered their blood pressure, lowered their blood sugar levels. Some people coming off the diabetes medications. They also lowered their cholesterol levels. And people talked about losing weight or fat in inches around the midsection, which is typically very difficult, but we're talking 7, 8, 6 inches that people lost. And the reason why they lost a lot of that fat around their midsection was because of the intermittent fasting component of the program, because that drives the body into your fat stores, and a body will use that fat, which is a storage form of energy. The body will break down the fat and convert it into fuel or energy that your body can use. So yes, I always test my programs out, get feedback, what works, what doesn't work, what's good, what's bad, and I make sure I incorporate those suggestions into the final draft that you now have.
Wonderful. So, you know, you talk about this intermittent fasting and negative energy balance. So how do I not feel hungry? You've actually thought about this a lot, and you've made a plan for us that where I won't feel hungry even though I'm doing this. Tell me more about that.
Well, people have to understand that when they see the word fast, it doesn't mean starvation. And so you're still going to eat 3 meals and 3 snacks most days. So you're going to get plenty of food. It's about when you eat it that matters. And that's the beauty of intermittent fasting. So basically, what we're doing in the book, there's one method we're doing called TRF, time restricted feeding, where you're breaking up the 24-hour day into an eating window and to a fasting window. So you'll eat all your meals and snacks in that window you've designed. And then your rest of the window, the fasting window, you're going to be only consuming beverages up to no more than 50 calories. Otherwise, you'll break that fast. And by the way, most people are already fasting anyway, because when you go to sleep, you're not eating food. That is a form of fasting. It's just with Fast Burn, we're going to actually formalize what those hours are. And by the way, it's customizable. You decide what your eating window is going to be, what your fasting window is going to be. For example, if you decide to do a 12-12, which means 12 eating, 12 fasting, let's say you start eating at 9 o'clock in the morning. That means you eat all your meals and snacks from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then from 9 p.m., wrapping around through your sleep to 9 a.m. is when you're going to have your fast and you can drink your beverages. But that is the time during your fast when you don't have food calories on board or food energy on board that your body now goes into your fat stores, because fat is a storage form of energy, and your body breaks down that fat and converts that to fuel, so your body does have some energy available.
Wonderful. So you have some yeses and you have some nos in there of things that we can eat and include in the diet. And you do include coffee, some treats, alcohol, and then you have a list of no's. So can you go through a bit about that?
Yeah, it depends on what week you're in and what the no's are, but typically, things like white bread, I prefer you to have whole grain bread. White potatoes, I prefer for you to have sweet potatoes. Fried foods, are a no. But by the way, let me just say, when you look at the no's and look at the yeses, there are way more yeses than no's. I mean,
Yes.
you're gonna have pancakes, you're gonna have steak, you're gonna have, chicken and fish. So you're gonna have all these things. We're just going to eat them in a healthier way without compromising the taste. And that's key. You got to keep the taste. There's no soda, for example. There's no nutritional value whatsoever in soda. It's just straight sugar with a whole bunch of synthetic ingredients. And so there are some no's, but I have to emphasize those no's are very, very few relative to all the yeses. And a lot of those yeses, the things like pasta and pizza are things you typically can't have on many other programs.
Well, I was really happy because when I read your book, because the first question I always ask myself when I start any diet is how much chocolate can I eat? And so when I went to your recipes at the back, there are some chocolate recipes. I really was happy about that. Tell me about your recipes.
Yeah, the recipes, I have simple rules for my recipes. One, that they must be simple. So it can't be 20 ingredients that you have to go to 5 different places to buy. Number two, they have to be tasty. Like they got to be good. And what I love about it is that in my Facebook group, people are saying not only are they eating the food, their entire family enjoys the food because it's not diet food. It's regular food. Another thing that the ingredients have to be affordable. What good is a plan if you can't afford to buy the food and the spices and use them? And I want to encourage people, and you can see in our Facebook group, so I encourage people to join us. It's completely free on Facebook. It's called Fast Burn Challenge. I'm in the group. I do live sessions. I answer questions. If you're not on Facebook, go to my Instagram page. It's at Dr. Ian Smith. Spell the doctor out, IAN Smith. But what I've learned for many years is that people who lose the most weight and keep it off the longest are those who have some type of support system. And I believe that the Facebook group, which is full of positive energy and great sharing of ideas, the Facebook group and the Instagram platform are great ways to remain positive and for me to help you through the program.
I really agree with that with the Facebook group. I was just amazed to see how supportive people were of each other. And these are real people losing weight and they're posting, pictures of their meals, of their results. And let's remind everybody, this book has only been out since April 13th and already people are seeing results.
Listen, I want people to be able to celebrate what are called NSVs, non-scale victories. So I want people to be able to get to their gate from the checkpoint without being winded. If they're running late, they'll be able to pick it up and not feel like they're about to collapse when they get there. Mm-hmm. I want people to feel comfortable moving through the airport. O'Hare, for example, is one of the biggest airports in the country, and getting from Terminal 1 to Terminal 2 feels like walking around the track several times. And so it really is not just about the numbers on the scale, though the numbers are phenomenal. The average weight loss of 15 to 17 pounds in 9 weeks is big, but also the things about your daily functioning, how you breathe, your conditioning level. Are you able to bend? Are you able to go up steps without being winded? All these things are also part of the Fast Burn Goal Plan. And I think people are reaching it and feeling comfortable that they feel like a new person.
Okay, so tell me some more about the tips and tricks you give people about how to eat your meal, like things that you say, like drink water before you start a meal, things like that. What else can we do when we're consuming our meals according to this Fast Burn plan that will help us?
What people have to understand is that losing weight is not just about the diet plan. That's of course the big picture, but there are little small things that you can do that by themselves may not make a big difference, but when you add all of those small changes together, it can make a difference. One thing is drinking lemon water. Some early studies show that it may be helpful in weight loss. Lemons help activate your gastrointestinal system in the morning. Drinking, of course, water, whether it's lemon water or not, before eating a meal is very important because Think about it. The stomach satiety, or the feeling of fullness, works on something called stretch. And so as you increase you increase the volume of what you're eating, the stomach expands, it stretches. And when it reaches a certain point, sends a signal to your brain saying, hey, listen, I'm full, stop eating. Well, think about it. If you can put a cup of water in there first to start the stomach stretching, that means less room to put those food calories in there. And so things like that throughout the book are extremely important. Breaking up your workout. Instead of exercising for 30 or 40 minutes straight, do 15 to 20 minutes in the morning, 15 to 20 minutes in the afternoon. These are all things that people can do and find in the book that will help them in a small way, but in an aggregate way can make a big difference.
That's wonderful. And you know what? I never thought of adding lemon to my water in the mornings, but I'm certainly going to do that now. I was wondering why you wrote that in. So many of the days that you detail in the plan have lemon water, and I was wondering why. And now just get some lemons, and you're off to a great start in the morning.
That's right. Squeeze away.
Fantastic. So now tell me, now I want to know when you eat with this diet, you also have to include exercise. So you do have a plan in there for us with the exercise, which I was really delighted to see. It's at the end of the book. Tell me more about how your plan also incorporates exercise in a holistic way.
I know that when people see the word exercise or hear the word exercise, some people get an allergic reaction. I get it. I understand. Not a big deal. But like everything else in the book, I make exercise accessible. And so it's not about going to the gym for an hour and a half and, working out until you drop dead. No, it's not that. I mean, if you want to go to the gym, I love gyms, by all means, you can do it. But most people who either can't afford a gym membership or simply don't like gyms, you can exercise right at home. So chapter 13 is all about at-home exercises that you can employ in your life right away. No machines required, obviously no gym membership required. All you need is floor space, whether it's in your bedroom or your living room or outside, backyard space. And basically taking these old school exercises and doing them, some old school, some new school, but doing these exercises, breaking up the amount of time that you do them. You may do 15 minutes in the morning or 15 in the late afternoon, early evening. That makes it way more accessible. It makes it doable and not onerous. And people are more likely to complete the exercise portion. But I got to tell you, I have had people in the 2000 test group that did not do any exercise. They still lost weight. What I did find, however, was that those who didn't do exercise, they lost about 30% less weight than those who actually changed their meal plan according to what I wrote and changed their exercise plan. So if you want to maximize, it's a 1-2 punch. It's exercise and it's food, but you don't have to kill yourself in a gym to get it done.
Well, that's good to know. So what happens if I mess up? What if I break the regime? Are you lenient there? What should I do? Like, what if my brother brings over my favorite ice cream and I just have to eat the whole tub?
Well, Fast Burn says that no one's perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't expect you to be perfect. I don't ask you to be perfect. And so I wrote the program. So it is a forgiving program, which means if you mess up on a day or a couple meals, no problem. Keep right on going. A lot of other programs, if you mess up even on one meal, you got to start all over again because those programs typically put you into this artificial biochemical state that you need to maintain by eating a certain way and being very rigid. Fast burn is not about rigidity. It's about flexibility. And so you fall, I always say to people, it's not how you fall down, it's how you get back up. You mess up on a meal or a day or two, not a problem. Keep going on the plan and you'll be good.
Fantastic. So as we all, for my final question, can you give me some comments about immunity and how to maintain your immunity on a diet while you're on a diet? You don't want to overdo it. So let's comment about that so that people can diet in a safe and healthy way.
Well, of course, the immune system is our protective warrior system, and sometimes it's weak, sometimes it's strong. But there are things we can do to try to keep it as strong as possible. Consuming vitamins C and D is extremely important. Rest. People don't realize how much sleeping, allowing your body to restore, is extremely important for immune system. A lot of people don't sleep enough, and that impairs their immune system. The other part, of course, obvious, is weight loss. Losing weight, getting your rest, consuming your vitamins, all these things work together, and reducing stress, of course. All these things work in tandem to boost your immune system and keep your immune system being as strong as possible. Listen, in the time of COVID, where our immune systems are extremely important in times like no other. We have to pay attention to ourselves. I think this is a great time for people as we near hopefully the end of this pandemic tunnel to turn the lens on ourselves and make ourselves the priority, and boosting our immune system and losing weight at the same time. Those are two things that are going to be very beneficial to a lot of people.
Absolutely. Well, I'm in the middle of the program. I'm going to be checking that Facebook group, which is so uplifting. It's full of fun people posting their recipes. Fast Burn, the power of negative energy balance. Thank you, Dr. Ian Smith.
Elaine, thanks for having me. Nice talking to you.